Welcome, friends. We're here. We're live. Back in the dungeon. Audio good, Tony?
Yeah, audio sounds good. Audio looks good.
More importantly, are you good?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
Welcome into another show, guys. We are episode what? 9?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that 10 with the pilot?
Time with the pilot.
You think I'd remember from week to week? Never will.
Yep.
I never,
Yep.
ever will.
9th time live.
What's that?
9th time live.
9th time? Yeah, then we did the...
One was split into two, but that's...
Dakota was on a live show, right?
I believe so, yes.
Trying to find the show right here to get... There we go. Found it. Nailed it. We got comments on which monitor? It's going to be the front one?
Yeah, we should have them on both, probably, for a while.
Gotcha. I got you.
We'll have them on one or the other.
Man, my eyes are like... We're doing all this live, guys, so
Yeah.
we're settling in. So one of these days we're going to be professionals. I'm not sure when that is.
Yeah.
We're going to finish John chapter 5 tonight. Have you learned anything this week?
This week? No, not a whole lot. Nothing comes to mind. I
Got
looked
some
over
good
some
podcasts
stuff,
I
but...
found. Some
Yeah, I've been going over a few, but...
stuff I'm really liking right now. The guy died last year or late 2023. I can't remember.
Okay.
Just different take on stuff. You know what I found is that there's, and we talked about this a couple shows ago when we were talking about dispensationalism and Seventh-day Adventist and how all that stuff kind of came about at a very similar time, Mormonism.
Sure. Yeah.
Because there's just such a focus on eschatology.
Mm-hmm.
There's such a focus on it. And, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's unclear, but, like, there's a lot that's left out for us.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, we're intentionally not...
Right.
Like, I think it'll be obvious after it happens.
Yeah.
Like, when we're in heaven.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
We'll be like, okay, that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, so much prediction stuff. Like, I mean, it's not like Nostradamus bad, but, like, there's so much prediction stuff that...
Well, so much of the stuff is tied to people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, we had a guy at our church last Sunday identify himself as a dispensationalist.
Okay.
Right? But, like, and the guy knows the Bible well.
Right.
I'm just like, where are you getting that other than, like, you're willing to put blinders on because you like how an idea is presented?
Yeah.
Is what it seems like to me, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're a bad person. Like, I
Yeah.
just...
And I don't see the appeal of dispensationalism.
I don't either. Other than you could look around and be like, well, it says there's going to be a bad period of time and
Oh,
things
yeah,
look bad.
I guess.
I mean, it looks bad, but then also the last year, like probably about this time last year, I started really noticing younger people starting to profess their faith, right? Like Ohio State had a big on-campus revival where a bunch of kids got baptized, right?
Okay.
That like the football team like led it.
Nice.
And all
Yeah.
season they talked about their faith, and their running back was big on, you know, like his celebration was always to point. And you see that in athletes. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
is an indicator, but
There's a bunch of videos online of original celebration clips where they thank God, and then edited ones where they went to air and they got edited out.
because it's we'll have them this season too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Last year, the year before, an Ohio State quarterback playing in Houston now, he always gives glory to God. Like he says, first I want to give all glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. At the start of every, like it doesn't matter if it's a post-game press conference, win or lose, and it's awesome, even though he's an Ohio State guy.
Sure.
But they edit that and take it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd be pretty upset if... I mean, I'm a little upset, but I'd be more upset if that were me being edited.
Well, it's just totally... it's totally dishonest.
It is. It is.
We got a problem, or we...
Nope. Just getting ready.
What's that?
Just getting ready.
Let's see. So, anyway, in terms of, like, the dispensationalist thing, like, apparently we're in the church age, according to them. And... it means there's the falling away, but I kind of see the opposite. I see more people professing their faith and more people needing to come to faith than when I was young, for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely growing. I don't know if it's growing more than it ever has, but because birth rate is down, but it's growing among people who weren't born into it at a level
Gen
that
Z's
is.
got they're much more into it than millennials were.
Gen Z and the Gen Alpha a little bit as they're starting to come
They're still
of
pretty young,
age.
though, right?
I think they're like just starting to hit like adulthood. Yeah.
Are they really?
Wow. I could be wrong on that. Oh, let's look it up. I think the first ones might be.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, and the more and more I think about it, the whole rapture thing and like, just the idea that I don't have to do anything because Jesus is coming back.
Right.
I think that's just weaponized.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. So the oldest of them would be 15. So no, not really. I mean, they could be. They'd be in high school, but not starting.
So 2025
not really adults yet.
Generation Beta.
Yes.
Oh man, that's unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
And why wasn't Gen Z Generation Alpha?
Because there was still a letter left.
And then why was it Gen X and then Millennials and then Gen Z?
I think it would have been Gen Y, but they renamed it to Millennial.
Oh, gotcha. But then, what's the actual term for baby boomers?
I don't know why it's just baby boomers. I mean, baby boomers, that was like the first one identified.
Right, and then they went back and named the silent generation.
The rest were retconned, yeah.
So what's before the silent generation?
Greatest generation.
Wait.
They're the ones who like fought in World War II, I want to say.
So the silent generation, I think we got those flipped. Because the greatest generation birthed the baby boomers.
Yeah, usually it skips a generation. Like my parents were
Check
boomers.
Those. They were what?
My parents were boomers, not Gen X.
Right, but they're probably young boomers. My parents are young.
My dad's middle, I guess, but
no, I mean the generations isn't super important for the for what we're discussing.
It's not.
But it's just not, since we're on the topic.
So silent was 28 to 45, and greatest was 1901 to 1927. So yeah, they would have been the ones fighting in World War II.
So the silent generation. Wait a minute. And then they got these giant. Now the blocks are really small, but back then, just because they went back and had to name them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and also culture is moving faster than it was.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, anything before that, it's like.
But there's a big bleed over with young boomers and old Xers. They're they're very, very similar,
yeah,
right?
Less than you'd think, but yes. Like,
you think so?
Less than you'd think. Like, my mom's like a last year boomer, and her younger sister is Gen X, and you can really see a lot of the boomer stuff and a lot of the Gen X stuff from each of them. I think it's kind of interesting.
Right, so there's some crossover.
There's some crossover, but you can see the
also definitive.
Like both of them have their respective traits.
I gotcha.
To a larger extent
when
than
you
you would
see
think.
how those things actually play out.
Mm-hmm.
So greatest generation was the first.
The first named, yeah.
Okay, and then everybody before that's just old and dead.
Yeah, and I don't think they didn't name them until the baby boomer generation was the first one. Yeah.
Well, that's because I think that was because it was such a huge.
Because it was very big.
Such a huge increase.
Yeah. I think millennials might be bigger technically, but
they're all really good investors too. That's the crazy thing.
Millennials or boomers?
All baby boomers are good investors.
Well, they are good investors.
I'm being facetious.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like.
I was just saying, like, what a strange coincidence that an entire generation of people is.
Well, I mean, they were able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and
that's right.
And they had firm handshakes.
Firm handshakes and all that.
Eye contact.
All right. Before we get any more facetious, let's go ahead and say a prayer, and we'll get started on the. We already started, but let's say a prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the opportunity to get together in fellowship tonight and get into your word and discuss what's going on in the world and the impact that you have on the world, which is obviously total, Father. But, it is interesting how you apply to certain situations and how you pull back in other certain situations. So Give us the wisdom to understand like when we need to push, when we need to pull, and just thank you for the hopefully for the guests we're going to have tonight, and for the safety you've given us, Father, to get us to this point. We just ask you to bless our time together tonight in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So let's see. So a big thing that's been sticking out to me is not replacement theology. That's a derogatory, kind of slant. But the fact that like God doesn't have a chosen people according to the New Testament.
Correct.
There's no chosen group of people.
Correct.
And there's no racial bonus.
Right. I mean, he has chosen people. They're just not. It's not tied to a lineage anymore.
And another thing that I was earlier. I meant to bring. My kids have a little Bible book, right? It's like just really quick Bible stories, like the story of Noah is like 2 paragraphs, right?
Right. And it's usually pictures.
But literally, like the story of Abraham is just so. It's, I don't know, maybe 20 words.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it really all starts with Abraham. We need to do a whole thing about, like, the Tower of Babel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how familiar are you with the Tower of Babel?
I'm fairly. I mean, not as much as I probably should be. But
about it in the Bible.
Right.
What are you looking up?
I looked up Redemption Arc.
Go to my Facebook. There's a link.
Well, I'm not logged into Facebook on that browser.
Oh, gotcha. I'll just send you the message.
I'll just I'll be able to bring it up, I'm sure.
Where can I send it to?
I'll get it.
Where do you want me to send it?
I mean, you can do Discord. I guess that would be just to yourself, but I have it now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. You need to save the link to that on the desktop.
Probably.
It's harder to find than you think.
Yeah, it's small.
For now. Sorry, I'm gonna. Oh, almost said I was gonna cough. Took a drink and then coughed anyway. I still might. Anyway, like the story of Abraham, like. So you have the flood, where the population goes down to 8.
Yep. Right,
and those people have more kids, and we all descend from those 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
God repeats what he told Adam and Eve to go out and populate the world.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Be fruitful and multiply. He repeats that to them after they're off the boat. The Tower of Babel is direct, not condemnation, what's the word I'm looking for? Direct disobedience to that.
Yeah, yes.
So there's a lot of idea that it was probably a ziggurat. The Tower of Babel was a ziggurat.
You mean like a pyramid with steps?
Yeah,
I mean, it's the easiest shape to make tall.
Right. Well, I mean, there's pyramids all over the earth too.
Right.
So the people congregate, and the idea of a ziggurat or whatnot is you get the deity to come to you, right? And that's not how God works, right? That might be how these other entities work, where you can kind of summon them, right? Hello, sir. If he's ready, let's bring him in.
Yeah.
Hi, good.
There's a comma there.
It's just funny. Anyway, they built this tower, ziggurat, temple, whatever it was, and they're trying to get. I don't know if they're trying to get the God of Israel, Yahweh, Jehovah. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's who they're trying to summon, but at the end of the day, God's like, nope, we're not doing this. So he confuses the language and spreads everybody out. Right. So then he pulls Abram out of Persia, out of the land of the Chaldeans, right? So they think Ur was probably in southern Persia, what's modern, today Iran.
Right.
Pulls him into the land of Canaan and sets forth the promise, the covenant, that all nations through Abraham will be blessed. And really, that's the gospel.
Yeah.
Right? So, and Paul says that. He says the gospel was preached to Abraham. Right? Because salvation is coming through his seed.
Right.
Right? Which ultimately was Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
and like we just glaze over that, like the whole the whole thing where he wants him to sacrifice Isaac is on the same mountain that it's in Jerusalem.
Sure.
It's the what was it, Mount Moriah?
Right.
We got Rafe in
They
here.
believe it to be the
Can we bring
same.
him in?
Oh yeah, we should be able to.
Grab my headphones here. I can see him there.
Yeah.
Look at this
He's over there.
technological terror you've constructed.
Yeah, I know.
I can hear
see.
you.
Oh, I cannot hear him. But oh, you can hear me. Yeah, I haven't turned him up yet.
Yep.
I will do that shortly. Let's see.
He's got a nice setup there.
Yeah, we were working on that. Just gotta do it down here.
I'm assuming he can see us on his link. Sorry, guys. Again, we're doing this live. Rafe had to work. Yeah, we're doing
There
this.
we go.
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Good, man. This is great. I can hear you good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear y'all fine. The only problem is I hear myself after I talk.
Is it better now? Oh, can't hear him now.
The producer has fixed it.
Oh,
Actually, he hasn't.
well,
It's still,
I couldn't hear you. We will. Oh, I know the issue. I gotta figure out how to fix it, but I know the issue. You can talk.
Okay.
Sure.
Rafe, so you are you're a Southern gentleman. I love the accent.
Well, I guess I am.
It's good to meet you in semi-person here.
Yeah, it's great to meet you as well.
Thanks for being a member here, and
Yeah,
you know, I appreciate your input every week, man. I really like it.
certainly. Yeah, your podcast is really nice with Tony.
Yeah, we've had him chained to the desk for many years.
Oh, yes.
And we just recently have started this, version of a podcast. We used to do a game store podcast that branched off into all kinds of stuff.
That's right. I heard
So
about that.
we're now a little more focused on what's important, at
Right.
least for now. So I appreciate your knowledge, man. You're always, I kind of can just lean to you, and you know exactly where we're going. So
Well, don't speak so fast. See, now you say that, I'm going to stink it up.
that's all right. We're sticking it up together.
We will.
Okay, so did Tony fix your audio problem?
No, I'm working
Not
on it.
yet.
Not yet. Okay, he's working on it. He's back
Right.
there slaving away. So what were we saying? We were talking about Abraham and how it's kind of
Yeah.
glazed over. I kind of lost where we were going with that.
I just came in when you were talking about the ziggurat, and my eyes was like, wow, that's a good conversation.
I just find it so interesting. I mean, what do you think about all the? I guess they're called megaliths. I've heard them called like Cyclopean construction, like all over the world, like Machu Picchu, for instance. You know what I mean? The pyramids of Giza. Well, what do you think about that? And then, well, go ahead. Just tell me what you think about that first of all.
Well, I think that when we get into talking about the supernatural realm, there's many things that even some of the careful Bible students and scholars haven't considered. And certain credible work brings out almost a world that we didn't know existed when it comes to supernatural stuff. So I have no problem thinking that those structures were built, the ones you're talking about, certainly with Babel as well, for trying to communicate with gods of the day.
So, okay, in that realm, I mean, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was going with the Deuteronomy. I think it's 32 when they talk. Is that when they talk about Tower of Babel?
Yep.
But basically the vice regents, the territorial entities, right? Are you familiar with like the Psalm 82, like divine council stuff?
Yep.
Okay, and how do you feel about that stuff?
I think I personally rejected it for a long time until I said, let me be objective about it. Let me get the books. Let me read it. And now I don't think you can refute it.
from my limited knowledge, I think I agree because there's so much talk about regionality, and then like in Daniel, the Prince of Persia.
Daniel, yes.
Is it Michael that he holds up?
Yes, he holds up Michael.
So that like there's literally like what? So Daniel prays, and it's like 30 days later that Michael shows up, right? Something like that.
Long time.
Yeah, it's a month, right, or whatever it is, 3 weeks, and he's like, "Hey, I would have been here sooner." But something transpired, right? And then I think we talked a couple weeks ago with you in the chat. Jesus breaks that. Like he's literally,
That's right.
Jesus is almost like another Exodus, obviously in the Passover sense, right? Because his blood is covering the saved, right? Just like the Passover lamb's blood before they came out of Egypt. But it's a similar concept because he's breaking the way that God broke the Egyptian gods. Jesus is breaking all the regional gods, right?
Yeah. Colossians chapter 2, how Christ, the cosmic Christ, is Lord over all spiritual beings because of his death and resurrection.
And then in Psalm 82, what is he? God basically standing in the.
He's judging the Elohim because they're not judging and ruling the people rightly in a way that points people toward him, but they're taking advantage of the needy. They're not doing what's right.
Right, and the divine ordinance of government was set for them, and they decided they were going to do it their own way.
Yes.
Now, do you think this is the second time they've done this? Because like the flood was to wipe out the first incursion, right?
Yep.
Presumably the first.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about the Watchers before. So they're doing some freaky stuff. There's unsanctioned creatures, we'll say, running around. The whole concept of giants, right?
Yes.
So, but Genesis 6 tells us they were on the earth in those days and also afterwards.
And afterward.
And then what's the other one where it says anytime? I'm sorry, I'm rambling here. I can't remember the verse off the top of my head.
I can look while you're talking.
Yeah, the one, I don't know if it's in Genesis, but it says that
it is
that they took they took to them wives whenever they chose, right? Which mean, am I saying that right? Basically, it infers that it's happening, or it's happened more than once, or continues to happen. Not that it just happened this one time, right?
Sure. It's in Genesis 6.
Yeah, Genesis 6.
Let's see here.
I'll tell you what a blessing the internet can be, too, because, like, the ability for us to have this conversation, like, this wouldn't happen 20 years ago.
Right.
No, and I'm really sorry about the echo.
That's
It's
right.
okay.
You still working on it?
I am.
Yeah,
yes.
he's still working on it. So in Genesis 4, I think this is saying what you were alluding to. It says the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward.
Yep.
And then here's the part that's very keen. When the sons of God, so the Watchers, came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. So in the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation of the Old Testament, they translate this whenever.
Whenever. So whenever they come across them, they do this.
Which would lead to imply a second incursion happened.
Right, and I think we have to go with that because what we have at
a later point
at Babel.
Yeah.
Right, like because that's when the regionality is introduced, right?
Right. So biblical history would demand that obviously Genesis happened before the events of Genesis 6 happened before Babel.
Right. Because that's what leads to the flood. The need for the flood, right?
Exactly. So, and then if you want to take the judgment in Psalm, then this has to be some kind of second incursion that didn't go right.
Oh, I think we lost him.
Oh,
we lost audio.
Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear him. Can you hear him?
I cannot hear him.
Okay. I will make sure that we can fix that.
Okay. So you were saying, the last thing I heard you were saying about the judgment in Psalm 82.
Yeah. So
I got you now.
if we take biblical history into account with the judgment in Psalm 82, then we have to say that there was another incursion of the Watchers.
The ones that were in charge. Now,
Yeah.
So incursion implies that. Sorry, I got a lot going on in this little parakeet brain here.
It's okay.
I was thinking about the mountain of Bashan. I heard something about that today, and the only mountain in that area is Mount Hermon or Hermon, right? Which is where the original Watchers are said to have descended, right? And then I've heard some theories that the transfiguration of Jesus actually took place on Mount Hermon.
That's what I've heard too.
And who knows, but it would make sense that he goes back, and apparently there's a temple up there, like a temple to the gods. It's pretty crazy.
Probably a ziggurat.
It may be. It just
It pretty much is.
What's that?
It pretty much in that time period, it's going to be a ziggurat.
Yeah. It's interesting,
especially if it's not Hebrew culture.
Right. And then, what is the language exactly where the regional powers basically are allotted to the, what is it? It's almost that the races of man follow that of the Elohim that were placed above them, right?
Right. So Yahweh allots the sons of God to different portions and regions of the earth, which apparently follows the some kind of table that comes before it.
The Table of Nations, right?
Yeah, the nations. Yeah.
Now, there were 70 nations named, I believe.
Yeah.
So does that mean there's 70 regional powers?
We don't have any biblical data for that. But
Sure.
That's a decent guess given the evidence.
Right. That's fascinating. Not really a Sunday school topic.
No. Okay, boys and girls. This morning we're going to talk about the Nephilim.
It's so interesting. I definitely, it's not the thing that drew me. I don't know if you might not have been here the first couple weeks when Tony and I talked about our foundations of our faith, but like I've been a believer my whole life. I don't remember a time where I was not a believer, right? So a lot of people talk about, when I was baptized and it changed me, and like when I was baptized, it was just, it was an awesome experience, but I didn't come up out of the water as a new person, you know what I mean? Or with a new set of beliefs or whatever. So I've just learned about this stuff as I've gone and tried to grow in my faith, and I've always been a big fan of like supernatural, like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like high fantasy, Star Wars, all that kind of stuff, nerd culture stuff, and it just to have that all baked right in the Bible is super cool for a nerd like me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to connect the dots and understand, because there's a lot of things that, and I think that kind of leans into what you want to talk about tonight. But the complicated book with, you'll never run out of things to read about in the Bible.
No, not at all.
So if that's a good enough segue, Rafe, if you want to jump into what you have prepared.
Well, it would be difficult to do it right now with the sound issues.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
Still can't get it figured out. Okay.
Yeah, for some reason it worked across a phone, but it isn't working right now. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I can hear you talking slow, which means you're
Just
probably
go
hearing
ahead and
yourself back.
study and talk about whatever y'all were talking about.
Okay.
If we get it fixed, we do. If we don't, we don't.
Yeah, that's fine.
I may have to try it.
Is there anything on the Ninja side?
I was trying that, and we're on. 29 and 30 are the channels we want to use.
Doesn't
for
help. There's
that.
like 30 options to choose
Yeah,
from.
there's 32. Yeah.
So like you go through and you're like, okay.
Well, I guess they're stereo channels, but yeah, they're. So there's at least 16 of them. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it lets us do that. If you speak now, do you have any echo?
Hello. Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't know why you're supposed to be coming in on this channel over here, but I'm not hearing that.
Is there anything I'm doing wrong?
I don't believe there is.
Okay.
But that is, I guess we could move you over to Discord.
If you want, that'd be fine.
We could do that.
Okay, so I'll
it'll
hang
take
over
me a
here
second,
and
but
then. Okay. What do you want me to do?
just give me a call and I'll or give Tim a call and we'll make it work.
On the ARC Discord?
Yep.
Okay, we'll do. Okay, see you soon.
Yep. All right. We can bring this in hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully that works. I mean, it's hard to work through those issues on air.
Yeah, it really
is.
is.
There's like an extra layer of pressure too. Like,
I know.
You're doing your best.
Yep.
And we appreciate it. So, I think he's going to go right into the Discord there. Yep. There he is.
So we'll be able to hear him right away, I think. Can we hear you? I don't hear him.
Are you in there?
Okay.
Oh, there he is. All right.
Oh, we hear you.
And then we'll just have to bring in...
Is this the correct channel?
Yep.
So just bring my webcam up, I guess, is all I got to do?
Yep. And
okay,
I will try and bring you in. So we'll have us on...
Can we hear him on air, too?
They should be able to hear him, yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We're working through this stuff, guys. We appreciate your... I wish you could turn that off, my part.
Let's see. And then we can do a... I'm going to have to create a new...
That's all right. Go for it.
It'll take me a minute before we can see him, but we can hear him.
They can hear him, and
we're gonna go
they know you're working
right there for now.
You're working through, so... Yeah, so...
Yeah, we continue the conversation. What were we talking about?
So really, it all roots back to Abraham, right? So like, there's the gospel's preached to Abraham that salvation is going to come through his seed, right, for all nations, and Paul really harps on this in several places, but specifically in Galatians, right, where he says like, there's no more Greek or Jew for your bond, like the promise is for believers, right? So, it's interesting how those things kind of weave in and out of one another. We were talking about the Watchers before we were trying to fix the audio, but then the gospel going to Abraham all the way through, and you kind of really don't even need to touch, like a new believer, you don't even need to touch on the Mount Hermon stuff at all.
No, of course
you know what I mean? So it's interesting, like it's obviously a reason that things have worked out the way they have, right? So salvation really, okay, here's another thing. The snake, the serpent, right, he's not called Satan in Genesis, right? It's not till later they refer to him as Satan the serpent, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just interesting also how that stuff plays in, but almost assuredly, he was one of these regional powers, right? Whoever the serpent was, is it a team game? Are they just trying to mess with humanity? Like, what do you think they're doing?
Who?
The Watchers, specific, or the fallen ones, I guess.
The Watchers, yeah. So the Watchers, their whole goal is to basically I think they were trying to put a stop to Messiah is what they were trying to do, and they were doing that by trying to pollute the line that the Messiah would come through.
Right, they were trying to corrupt all flesh on earth, right?
Right.
So do you think
and
Noah
they were doing that in many ways, but one of the ways is they were doing it through polluting a line through them having relations with women.
So here's the $10 question. Do you think that there are hybrids of a sort today on Earth?
Oh, I have no clue. I was watching X-Files recently, so maybe there is, but I would have no clue.
Well, what would you say if you had to say yes or no? What would you say? And I guess it's me making you say yes or no.
It's possible. It's very possible. It's very possible. I can't say no because I don't have any proof to say no.
We don't have proof to the positive either.
It's possible. the truth is out there. It's
That's
possible.
Right. That's right. The whole like conspiracy, like the David Icke. Are you familiar with the David Icke thing?
I don't think I am.
So
I'm not.
For a long time, he was like selling seminars, and like he would be like these 8-hour seminars where he would just kind of like Alex Jones, right? But a big thing was like the reptilian thing.
Oh yeah.
Right? So like I think some of that stuff is just I think we're all playing the same it's the same song translated a little bit differently. You know what I mean? Like I think that the Greek gods, I think Mount Olympus is Mount Hermon. Like we're told the stories. These demigods like that are like look at Zeus. What's Zeus do? He sleeps with a bunch of human women and creates demigod offspring, right? Like sounds really familiar.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
Is it right? I mean, is that kind of how you see it, Rafe?
Sure. Yeah.
It's just super interesting.
Yeah, no, I've heard some crazy conspiracy theories. Like I heard a theory that the Nephilim are, or at least one or some are bound in Antarctica.
I have heard that some weird things are going on in Antarctica.
And like that's why I think John Kerry went there like on the night of some election or something.
Did he really?
I guess, like 2012 or 2016.
That is pretty odd.
Yeah. And so people are like, it was too.
He's kind of like he reminds me of a Nephilim anyway.
I was gonna say, if you look at John Kerry, you can definitely see.
I mean, he's only got one row of teeth, but there that we know of. But there. Somebody was saying like, he was going there to campaign to them. It's like, well, polls were closed and there's like 8 of them. So I mean, maybe he was having Birdo. I don't know, but like at the South Pole, there's like 8 people at any given time usually.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they have like research teams and stuff. I mean, maybe there's more, but officially there's like 8 people.
This is totally different direction. But I just taught a Sunday school class this past week about the creation of the stars, right? And we were reading the Genesis chapter 1, and man, the word firmament's used a lot. What do you think about that firmament thing?
Goodness gracious. I've never studied it as much as I probably should have. It's confusing to me as well.
Yeah, because I mean, we have our default program settings that I got in public school.
Well, yeah.
And so I'm taught, and like I said, I like Star Wars, so we know space is one thing. It's just really interesting to me. And then, Psalm 119, right? Like the firmament shows is.
I don't know if it's 119, but yeah,
something like that. Maybe just 19. I think it's just it's Psalm 19, not 119. It's interesting. I don't really know, so I'm trying to teach these kids about the firmament. But not really go too deep into the firmament, you know what I mean? So, and I don't know either. I mean, it's kind of like hand waved. Oh, that's just.
Yeah, I think it's.
But Isaiah talks about God sits above the circle of the earth. It's just very intriguing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've looked into it a little bit, and I do think it is spherical. But I think, like, what is a dome over a sphere? But what we have,
right?
And. Because usually they think of a firmament as having to have sides, which it does in any situation other than gravity being centralized over one point. Also, a lot of things in the Bible are described in a way that matches our perception, which, the sky does look dome-like over us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I do know that I don't trust government agencies.
Oh, yeah, you should.
No, of course not.
So there is that. Okay, so Rafe, we are at the 9:40 mark. Is that going to give you enough time? Or do we want
We'll do it. I don't think so. We'll do it next week.
Okay.
And once we get everything, more.
I'll fight through the audio a little more before then.
That's fine.
Maybe,
I don't want to, force your hand, and I want you to be able to have a chance to say what you're wanting to say. So I'm all for having the conversation anyway. So let's finish John. Unless you have anything you wanted to add.
No. John 5?
Yeah, we're in John 5.
You remember? So we discovered before the show that I had asked Tony to write down the verse we were on, and he admitted, he's like, I did not do that.
Yeah.
Do you happen to remember
I don't.
Okay. So we picked verse 25. I think that's about. Physically looking at the Bible here, I was thinking that's probably pretty close. And if not, if people hear the same thing again, better for them.
Sure.
Let me get a sip here. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Verse 25. So this is John chapter 5, verse 25. So verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they that hear shall live. So that's calling forth the dead. Is that what that's saying?
I wouldn't say the.
So is this the physically dead or the spiritually dead?
He's talking spiritually here.
The spiritual, those that are dead spiritually.
Yeah, the Christ came to save his people, and so there were people who, throughout his ministry, who rejected him, and people who accepted him, and that's the thought there.
Gotcha. Okay. Moving on, verse 26. For as the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself, and hath given him authority to execute judgment, also because he is the Son of Man. Okay, so the Son of Man, that's a title, right?
Yeah,
So
it's an Old Testament title.
So it's what does it mean?
Well, it comes from Daniel, where you have the Son of Man in Daniel. So it's one who is, in short, it's saying it's a title of divinity. It's a title that's saying he's God. That's why, that's one of the reasons why people wanted to stone him, because when he heard him called the Son of Man, they said blasphemy.
Right, like that's a title resigned for literally for God.
Yeah, for Yahweh. Yeah.
Okay, so in Daniel it says like he's coming as the Son of Man, right? They see it as coming.
Right. Right. And here you have the connection between the Son of Man and Daniel, who judges, and also the fact that the Father has granted the Son that he can have the authority of judgment, because he's the Son of Man.
Right. Okay, verse 28. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in which all that were in the graves shall hear his voice. Okay, so now in 28 he's talking physical death.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he very rarely uses the word dead to refer to people that are deceased.
Yeah, it's usually
Asleep,
Yeah,
in the
sleep a lot.
grave. Yeah.
29 here. And shall come forth they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. So that's saying where they're going to be filtered to.
Right.
Yeah.
Verse 30. I can of mine own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which hath sent me. If I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. There is another that beareth witness of me, and know the witness of which he witnesseth of me is true. So, Tony, what do you got in regular English there?
There's someone else testifying about me, and I know what he testifies about me is true. This is American translation. ESV is probably not too far off from that. It reveals who that is in the next verse.
Okay, so we're going on to 33?
Yeah.
Okay, so ye sent unto John, so this is John the Baptist,
Yeah.
and he bare witness unto the truth. But I received not testimony from man, but these things I say, that ye might be saved. He was a burning and a shining light, and ye were willing for a season to rejoice in his light. So what are we talking here? 35.
John was a lighted lamp that shone, and for a while you wanted to enjoy his light.
Okay, so this is talking about John the Baptist's ministry as
Yes.
he's preaching in the wilderness.
Yep.
And people were, because he was preaching to large crowds,
Yes.
right? And I'm pretty sure there's a pretty large crowd when Jesus shows up on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Hey, you got to baptize me." And
Yeah.
John's like, "No, you got to baptize me." And he's like, "Nope." That's a really cool scene, right? That's
Yeah.
a pretty theatrical scene.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like coming out of the woods.
Yeah. 'Cause, yeah,
I mean, I guess they're in the desert, right? So I guess you would have seen him coming far off.
it's high desert, so there's still trees.
Oh, that's true.
But
John the Baptist just covered in honey and camel skins.
well, covered in camel skins.
Well, it says he eats honey, right? So like,
Yeah,
it's like this odd. What is it? Honey and
Locust.
locust.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Gotta wash them down somehow.
Ugh.
Yeah, protein, but
They're probably pretty big in that part of the world too.
probably.
Was he in the South, John the Baptist?
We assume probably near the Jordan River, obviously. But I mean, I can tell you where it's dry now, but I can't tell you where it was dry. It's probably pretty
Well,
similar.
we do know that sea levels are rising.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You got that map? You can just save that on the desktop.
I probably do need to. I closed it earlier. I don't have a way of bringing it up on the screen right now because of the setup that we're using. But
That's all right. That's all right.
yeah.
I'm more just asking the question. Okay, so that was 35, right? So talking about John the Baptist's ministry. But I have a greater witness than that of John, for the works which the Father hath given me to finish, the same works that I do, bear witness of me, that the Father hath sent me. So we talked about that a little bit last week, why he does the miracles that he does.
Yeah.
Right, and it's to prove his divinity. And the Father himself, which hath sent me, hath borne witness of me. Ye have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. So is he talking literally here? Like you've never heard the voice of God or seen God?
I would imagine, yeah, that's literal.
He's
Since
contrasting, himself as the God man, second person of the Trinity, to the Father who has never been incarnate.
right, and like, isn't it like anybody who looks upon God's face like dies?
And that too.
Yeah.
So okay, so now this is a good spot to kind of have this conversation. So, Jesus, how do you feel about the pre-incarnate Jesus?
Well, there were theophanies. I mean, the angel of the Lord. There's various appearances in the Old Testament of divine beings that are more than just angels, because they receive worship.
Yep.
And there are things about them that not any mere creature, it couldn't be true about any mere creature. So certainly it's one of those supernatural things we have to unbias ourselves and really study it.
Yeah. There's a few places that he's said to have shown up, and I'm not certain if it's said that it's him in the Bible, but in the furnace, as I think we mentioned,
Yep.
with I think it was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yep. And they said it as the Son of Man.
Yeah, they said it was him. I believe it's been said that he was the angel of death the last night of the 10 plagues. I don't know if that's canon, but I've heard it said.
Right.
I don't
Is the
know.
angel of death mentioned anywhere else in the Bible?
I don't think so.
Sounds like a Revelation type thing, but aside from, I can't think of another place. No.
So was it Jesus on top of Mount Sinai? Is Moses up there talking to Jesus?
I thought that was supposed to have been God the Father, but I'm not certain
I would assume it's
because he couldn't
God
look
the
on
Father.
him,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, they give him he's given the tablets.
Right, but he couldn't look at him.
Right.
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 But he did see God pass by. He got to look at the backside of God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And then when Jesus is talking to Moses and Elijah, maybe on Mount Hermon, like they know who they're talking to, right? That's presumed that's Moses and Elijah, right? That he's talking to.
It didn't they all say that it was?
Did they? Is it? I don't know. Because the idea is that the two witnesses in Revelation will be Moses and Elijah,
Okay.
right? That's why. God. Also, we didn't talk about the regionality earlier, but like when they fight for the body of Moses, You just kind of like, yeah. And then God fought for the body of Moses or whatever it is, however it's phrased. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's laying claim,
Mhm.
and then like you're like, why does God need his body? It's really weird. It's weird stuff if you think about it. And then Elijah is just like, I'm owning all these priests of Baal, and I got to get out of here. That whole scene's really interesting too. Like he's walking with Elisha,
Yeah.
and he's like, dude, leave me alone. I'm trying to get out of here.
Yeah.
And then like Elisha's just asking him, like he's staying with him, and he's like, does he get picked up in a whirlwind? Is that what it is?
A chariot, I believe.
That's Ezekiel, isn't it?
I believe Elijah was a chariot made of fire, wasn't it? Like the song.
Google that, because I feel like I thought he got swept up in a whirlwind.
I think
I
it
think you're
kind of
right about
resembled
that.
a whirlwind.
We're way off the beaten path here, but it's so interesting.
Yeah.
And then Methuselah just walked with God. Not Methuselah. I'm sorry, Enoch.
So we were both right. In a whirlwind, specifically a chariot of fire with horses of fire.
Gotcha.
One of both.
Yep.
Elijah's a really interesting one too, because he's the one that lives with the widow,
widow, yeah.
right? And he's like, "You got to feed me." She's like, "I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have enough food." He's like, "Just do it." She's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And she wasn't. She was a Gentile, right?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she was a Gentile, but she's blessed.
Mhm.
You know, you see that over and over again in the Old Testament that like anybody that wants to believe
Yeah.
is blessed
Yeah.
by God. It's pretty
Anyone
awesome.
wants to, anybody needs to. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like if you're gonna come live here, like you're gonna and be under the covenant, you just gotta follow the rules. You gotta get
Right.
circumcised and follow the law.
Yeah.
But like Rahab, the spies that go into the land, she's like, "I'll hide you," and God blesses her.
Yeah. The importance of being a descendant of Abraham was very important to the people, and the people are the one who wrote the Bible,
Right.
and they're the ones who did all the talking. So like it never says outright that that's required, but everybody kind of assumed it.
Right, it's definitely not. Like if you read
And-
the text, it's clearly not required.
Right. It's clearly not, and then Jesus makes it quite clear.
Yeah,
Like no, that was not.
yeah. Don't
And
cling
we
to
always-
your lineage because that's not
Yeah.
what will save you.
Yeah, like I can what was it? I can raise up children from rocks, or children of Abraham from rocks.
Jesus said that.
I believe so.
That's a banger line right there. That's a banger. All right, let's keep reading. Sorry, I shouldn't say we got sidetracked. I got sidetracked and brought you guys with me. Okay, we read 35, 36. Are we on 37? Oops. Oh no, 37 is where they're saying you've never seen the incarnate God. Okay, 38. And ye have not his word abiding in you, for whom he hath sent, he ye believeth not. I'm sorry, him ye believeth not. So at the start of John here, it tells us what the word is. The word is Christ, right? So for him to say, you have not his word abiding in you, which we know is what happens when you're saved, right? Spot on language here. 39, search the scriptures, for in them ye think ye have eternal life, and they are not which testify of me. So that's a big one too. So who's he talking to at this time? Is this?
He's talking to the religious leaders, probably the Pharisees.
I was gonna say this sounds like language he uses against the Pharisees.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not talking to Nicodemus here.
Yeah,
right?
you who search the scriptures is who he seems to be addressing in that verse, according to this translation. So yeah, I would say Pharisees. It says, yeah, you who search the scriptures, since you think you have everlasting life in them, and still they testify about me, which is very true.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to come to me, but you don't want to come to me to have life.
So that's Paul runs into this. The book of Galatians is about this very thing, right? Like the clinging to tradition, and we see this modern day, right? The clinging to tradition instead of to Christ.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I need to say this many Hail Marys. I need to. What's the the example, they tithe the Pharisees would tithe the leaves on their plants. Like they would get so
There's a lot of stuff they would do.
well, they get so legalistic. Like I need to get 10% of each plant. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So and Jesus all the time is saying like the whole thing with the Sabbath. Like we read in this earlier that he told the guy to get up and walk, and like he carried his bed on the Sabbath, and Jesus is like, "You're not getting it, man. You're looking at it the wrong way."
Yeah, the level of legalism in
Yes.
Pharisaic. Yeah.
Rafe, what do you have to add to all this? Because I'm just reading and rambling, and
So far, so good.
If you don't jump in, it's
Nothing
kind of hard to.
particular.
Yeah, no.
yeah, you just got to butt
We-
in, Rafe. I'm a talker, and
There's also a delay.
Yeah, I think he's
so
got.
it's hard.
I mean, I don't think he's got a big delay, but like even just the internet
I
delay.
got you. But it's bad enough to where it's somewhat awkward for you.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt.
It's probably like a half second, but or
Gotcha.
maybe a second even, but that probably half.
I
But,
want to make sure you understand you have license to interrupt, because otherwise you might not get a chance to talk.
Yeah, if you just go ahead and talk, we'll recognize
It's okay.
that you probably started before we hear you.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see, verse 40. And you already read it, Tony, but in this version, and ye will not come to me that ye might have life. So basically, they're clinging to the scriptures and they're not going to come to where life actually comes from. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that ye have not the love of God in you. I am come in my Father's name, and ye receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him ye will receive. Okay, that's a big one. So who's he talking about there?
I'm not sure.
The Pharisees are going to receive one that comes in his own name.
Sure. I mean, I assume you're pointing to Antichrist here.
Well, that sure is what it seems like to me. Rafe, what do you say?
I think he's just making a general argument. He's not really. He's just saying if someone comes in their own name, and you receive them and believe them, like basically saying, how can you not believe me when I come in my Father's name?
Sure, I can definitely see
Because
that.
I have my Father backing me up.
Right,
Yeah.
right. For me, it's interesting who he's saying that to, and those, they kind of codify their oral tradition later on, and they're looking for a certain type of Mashiach,
Sure.
right? But you may very well be right. Let's see. That was 43. So 44. How can you believe which receive honor one of another and seek not the honor that cometh from God only? Do you think I will accuse you to my Father? I'm sorry. Do you think I will accuse you to the Father? There is one that accuseth you, even Moses, in whom you trust. So what's that saying there? What's yours say, Tony? 45.
Don't think that I will accuse you before the Father. There is already one who accuses you, Moses, whom you trust.
Is that saying that they're not following the law as it was written?
Yeah, the Ten Commandments is what he's referring to. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be the
Jesus
law.
is saying, I'm not going to accuse you before my Father and rail against you that you're guilty, because Moses, whom came before you, already did that. And he goes down in the context, as we'll read. And the reason he says that is because Moses wrote of Christ. So if Moses wrote of Christ and they don't believe in the words of Christ, then they're certainly guilty. And Moses condemned them.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. 46. For ye had believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if ye believe not in his writings, how shall you believe my words? So, what do we think here, guys? To the end of chapter 5.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, that would be. I mean, yeah, that would tie both to Ten Commandments as well as the Torah, which is what they typically would hold most highly.
Right.
I think they held the other books a bit more highly until they started pointing so closely to Christ.
You're talking the prophets?
Yeah.
Isaiah's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Isaiah's an awesome book to read.
Yeah.
It's big, but it's an awesome book to read.
Yeah, that one has more specificity than I think any other prophet, I would think,
Yeah, I mean, it's like a dead ringer.
about Jesus specifically.
It's a dead ringer, man. It's awesome. Isaiah 53 is fantastic. But the whole thing, there's like little ones all the way through. Like, Rafe, what say you, my friend?
I think the whole dialogue there that Jesus was having, or the monologue Jesus was having, was to basically get the point across that I've come in my Father's name with His authority. You accept people, and if they come, you've accepted people, and they're coming in and of themselves with their own authority. Why can't you accept me if I come in my Father's authority? And Moses even accuses you of not accepting me because he wrote about me, and you should know about me from him.
But you somehow have not gotten that from
Right.
your reading.
Yeah. All the studying, and it's finally coming true, and you reject it.
You reject it on its face, right?
Yeah.
I think it's important to understand how much the Pharisees hated Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously enough to kill him. And then it's important to know that the story doesn't end there. You know,
Right.
that tradition continues.
Oh, yeah.
And that gets omitted today.
Sometimes, yeah.
I would say the majority of the time. I bet most people don't know that. How can I say this in the most diplomatic way? Right? That oral tradition was codified 600 years later,
Right.
something like that, and on. Like it wasn't one book.
Right.
You know, like I don't know if they're still adding to it. They very well could
I don't
be.
know.
But one of the three major religions in the world that we're told, right?
At least Abrahamic, yeah.
We're told Abrahamic, right? That they're not the same though.
No.
But one of the three truly hates our Savior.
Right.
Hates him. Right? That Pharisaical tradition was codified, and
Oh, yeah.
how do you get people to see that, Rafe?
You
First of
don't.
all, do you agree with that?
I
I
mean-
mean, I'm just going on the assumption.
Yes, of course. But unless God moves in a person's heart, there's this, because of bad theological teaching mixed with political, a political hold, we have such a fixation on the idea that Israel and the Jews and Judaism is just something so special that we can never really look at and take a critical look at and point out the problems with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they can believe whatever they want to believe, but I fund a lot of what they believe, and I don't appreciate that.
Yeah. No, it's a little unfortunate when laws get made that you can't say anything about it.
That's a whole nother topic. We might have to have a show on Rumble.
Yeah, you were talking about having more viewership. It's like, that's not happening.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. There's some guys I really respect that just they're in the Schofield boomer kind of theology camp, I guess.
Mhm.
But they, you know what? They believe that we're saved by Christ alone, and that's really what matters. You know what I mean? So it's not. I don't know if it's really worth. But then again, I don't know. Like, it's real easy to hate on Muslims,
Mhm.
and they have a higher opinion of Jesus than the Pharisees do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But yeah, no, I usually find it's most effective to just kind of question things, chip away at ideas. Like,
it
where,
may not
where
even
in the
be
Bible does it
important.
say that?
Yeah, it may not even be that important to do it. You know
Right.
what I mean? These guys are saved, and
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not the crusader necessarily, but it bothers me when I read the things that I read,
Mhm.
and then like the next thing you read is like, oh, another 4 billion head that way.
Yeah.
And then like the total destruction of Gaza, man. Like not to.
Oh yeah, I've
They
been
just
looking
killed
at.
a bunch of aid workers
Yeah.
recently. Like
Yeah, they do that.
the video is
regularly.
terrible, man. They're like in like the side of this hospital is blown out or something, and they're like on the scaffolding, and they're like, "No, don't shoot us!" And then they blow up.
Oh yeah,
It's horrible.
yeah. I looked recently at some Google Earth lets you see the current video like Google Maps does, but you can also or not video, but the current pictures, and then it also shows you the entire catalog, like every time they've taken pictures of a given area, and like just going back like months or a year, the amount of destruction that has come to that area is crazy.
I found this one guy on YouTube. He's got a church down in Florida, and man, he really rails on that Christians shouldn't be celebrating murder.
Right, right.
They really, I mean, like when you really break it down, kind of like when the pro-choice argument. Well, I'm pro-choice, so you're pro-murder, right? If you just use the
Right.
correct, you know what I mean? If you use the correct language, it changes things, right? So like what's the pro-Israel stance that they have the right to defend themselves,
Right.
right? Like, but what
The
point?
Zionists, you mean, or
Well, just the at large, right?
Right.
Like the argument will be, well, like, do they have a right to exist? Like, I guess in terms of military conquest, sure. Like as much as any other country that's dominated an area, and
right? But how much of our money do they have a right to?
that's the real thing. That's the real thing. All right, Rafe, I've been on the soapbox again. What are some closing words from you on anything?
Well, I appreciated all the conversation. Just too many twists and turns to really latch on to
That's fair.
to anything really. They're all worthy of a show in itself, to be honest with you.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
next week, John chapter 6 is going to be great because that's one of my favorite chapters in the Bible.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to it.
And you'll be faced with some hard truths in that chapter. I'm just going to say.
One of these weeks we will have to get into because I think you and I have probably a lot of similarities, and I think there's probably just a few things where we'll differ on. But that doesn't mean I'm I'm willing to listen for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, I'll read.
Tony's going to get there soon. He's going to get there before you. That's for
I
sure.
think so.
Okay, where?
I think he might. He might.
I don't know if I'm gonna move too much. I mean, like, it's not that I am opposed. It's not that I don't think I can, but like
Okay, so we're kind of go ahead.
I don't know. I've got some resources of people and literature where I can get some pretty good answers on most things, and they usually make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, when we're kind of beating around the bush here, but we're kind of talking about Calvinism, right? Like, or what would you call it, Rafe? I mean, I would say Calvinism. That's how my brain understands.
We can say Calvinism.
Yeah.
We could say sovereign grace theology.
So, I mean, for me, I don't think the sovereignty of God is in question at all. Even if, no matter what side you land on, like, God's obviously sovereign. I mean, he tells you all throughout, like the end of Job, like when he's slapping Job around, like, who are you, man? Were you here when I laid the foundations of the earth and when I created Leviathan? You know what I'm saying? And then in Isaiah, when it talks about, he's like, I'm the one that created the heavens. And what's he say a lot? He says that I spread out the heavens with my own hands. Is that the term he uses?
I think that.
And it's in Isaiah,
close.
it's like over and over. It's like, man, what does this mean? Like, is he just showing that he's bigger than it all? It very well could be.
I think it probably varies in context depending on the usage, but that's probably at least one of the points.
And he talks about like the stars answer to him. It's a fascinating. So I don't think that's in doubt at all that God is sovereign over all. I just think that leaves room for free will. You know what I mean?
Good luck finding that in the Bible.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But man, I don't know. Maybe I'll look up some counter arguments because I'm not real. I'm not going to die on the hill, you know. You know what I mean? If God's ultimately, if I don't have any free will,
Right.
and I'm on
Oh
the,
no, I never said you didn't have free will. No.
well, what do you, go ahead, elaborate on that.
The Bible just never. The Bible doesn't teach the modern common understanding of libertarian free will. It teaches that humans have will, but creaturely will, that's defined differently than what we would think of modernly as free will. It teaches that humans have will, and they make decisions according to their nature. And so, in as much as they make decisions according to their nature, man is really never ultimately totally free, because before he's in Christ, he's a slave to a sin, and after he's in Christ, he's controlled by the Holy Spirit. So he's never ultimately free. He makes decisions and he has a will, but that will is moved and turned by his nature, which depending on if before or after Christ will act differently.
I agree with that. I agree with that. We're slaves to our own, as you said, to our own nature. So the idea that anybody is an unbiased decision making angel, I don't agree with that. I totally agree with what you just said. You know, because we're all slaves to our own biases, and you know, I've known people that have said, "Well, I don't have any bias." You know,
Yeah.
the most
Everyone does.
most ludicrous thing. Like, you may be able to recognize your own bias, but to say you don't have it is silly.
You wouldn't
So-
be able to function without it.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of these things are just like how they're just instinctive.
Right.
You have like instinctive biases, right? Things that aren't even.
Or they're developed very early, but
Sure.
like a very young child, you wouldn't know how to interact in any situation without biases and
Right.
well, I mean,
Right.
not even preferences, but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that sets up. We're gonna have some good conversation, Rafe. I do appreciate you jumping on here. Hopefully, you still had echo the whole time, or
not once we switched to Discord.
No, there
But you
was
had a
no
delay.
echo.
Gotcha.
There wasn't echo on Discord, but it would be a much better if he can figure out how to do the other method. It would be much better for presentation and everything. I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you wouldn't send the audio through the presentation, so we still could send the presentation through the other program.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just mute it. So we could have you on
Oh.
Discord here and send the other one through the other program.
But the
But I would
timing-
way rather have it both through the other program.
Yeah, the timing was better on the other
Yeah,
one, right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a delay here, and there was
Okay.
no delay on the other one.
Gotcha.
So I felt like I was like right in the room with you guys and able to read, your body language and everything, and it was great.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to have that other one working. You found
Right.
that I like it, but we got to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. I know. You'll,
Yeah,
I'm sure
you'll
have
figure it
those
out.
weeks.
He's the producer. He'll get it.
Yeah, he's good at that. So, like I said, we haven't chained to that desk for a while. It's at literally the same desk that he's had for.
You let
Yeah,
him.
I made
you,
this
you let
desk.
him up for a little bit for the show.
I made this desk 2019,
Something like that.
late 2018. Yeah,
And we got it in this tiny office here. But
yeah. I was on it
Yeah.
for a little while. I was onto that big 8-foot desk
You
for
know-
a while.
yeah.
When I heard about all that stuff going down and you losing the studio, my heart broke.
Which
know-
time?
Ours too. But you know what? God always has a way of working things out. So minor inconvenience, and God, He blesses us constantly. So,
Sure.
Rafe, do you wanna say a prayer to take us out here?
Sure. I'll do that.
All right, brother. Go ahead.
Father, thank you for this great night and the ability to have the internet to talk with fellow brothers about the Lord. Thank you for this podcast, Lord. I pray that you continue to use it for your glory and the edification of Christians to know and love you more through understanding the Bible and theology more. I pray that you'd use all of us to prepare and study so that we could be tools to teach people more about you in various areas, and we would do that winsomely and with a proper application. I thank you for being the gracious, kind God that you are, and we praise you and we honor you for that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Rafe, thank you very much for appearing here in the flesh, as close to the flesh as we can get. What part of Texas? You Central Texas, East Texas?
Central. Yeah, Central.
Not born and raised?
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, I want to get down there. So, I'll leave you
Don't
with
go
it.
to Austin.
What's that? Don't go to Austin?
No.
I've heard that.
That's like the California of Texas.
I've heard that. I've
Yeah,
heard that.
that's where all the people from California are going.
Yeah. Well, they're leaving now, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently there's an exodus.
Good.
Good. On our other show, we
Oh yeah.
we had a follower from Texas.
Yeah. He basically came in to he found us on
He saw
a
us on
random
Twitch.
site, and he came in to troll us, and like we responded, I guess, well, and he kept coming back.
So we just called him Tex, and
He had that in his name.
yeah. So, but it's just funny. So we got another show entirely, and we've still got the Texas connection. So
Yeah.
maybe God wants us in Texas in some form or fashion.
Maybe
Maybe.
so. Maybe.
All right, Rafe. Thank you, sir. We'll see you
Sure.
on next week.
Yep.
Guys, thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you later.
All right.
Mhm.